Hey guys, I'm Tyrone and welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. As you guys can see, today we're not outside, we're actually in the basement. It's kind of funny because in the comments of the last video, a few of you guys actually mentioned or asked about the basement, how things were coming along. And not only did you guys ask, but actually my family's been asking as of lately as well. And so with the nudge for me to kind of refocus on things, here we are back in the basement yet again. And so I just want to kind of update you guys real quick on what has been done since I think I last showed you guys, which I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head when that was. I lean to thinking it was when or shortly after I had completed my office in Antonio's room. And I think I was talking to you guys about wanting to insulate the walls, the exterior walls of his room and my office, as well as Angela's office, if I'm right. Hopefully I am right. And so with that in mind, as you can see, I've actually done that. And so there's the insulation there installed against his wall. And see, and actually over here, at the side of my office, I've actually already insulated and installed the drywall. I don't believe you guys had seen that previously. And so actually, as you can see, obviously too, I've started on these walls as well. And then same with over here. I've started with these walls. And so, I mean, while I completed these walls, I just have the lower portion, remaining 8 inches is about what it is. And so I've actually start cutting those out. You can see one here, and I've been installing them. But I usually, or what I have been doing has been then installing my, my larger pieces, and then I just come behind myself and start installing the lower last section. And even in my office, I've begun on that back row to install the lower half, but I haven't made it all the way around yet, as you can see in that corner and against this wall here. But I think what I want to do is to go ahead and install the last piece that's going to go right here, which this is our shower on the other side of this wall. And so I do want to plan to insulate this, but I can do that from the inside of the bathroom. I can go ahead and install this piece here, and it won't, be in my way or anything like that. And then I also want to go ahead and get this installed, get this wall buttoned up. And so, yeah, that way this entire area, for the most part, as far as the bigger pieces, will be done. Let me zoom out a little bit. I do want to get this wall finished up too, but the only thing about it is I got a little work to do on it. And what I mean is, I want to have access to this area. I think I told you guys before, this is going to be storage for us. And so I want to cut a doorway in here. And I think I've landed on it just falling between these two studs. So this one's going to get cut, and the opening between this one and this one is what I think I'm going to work with. And so I'm just going to have to move this electrical wire up a bit, and that should get it out my way and allow me to install a header and whatever the case may be. That way I will have access to the area, and I want it to be probably about this size. This is probably a good width. I'll say probably close to 32, 34 inches or so wide. And I think that's going to do well for us. What else? But yeah, guys, just trucking along. It's slow going, but it is going. Work has been keeping me pretty busy here lately, so I haven't been able to dedicate a lot of time. But another thing that I'm going to be working to do as well is, now that I got my drywall on, I'm now comfortable with installing my electrical receptacles. And so that's probably what I'm going to be doing here soon as well. And then just kind of making steady progress after that. I still got a fair amount of work to do in our bathroom. I need to go ahead and install the rest of the drainage plumbing, get that tidied up here at the vanity area, as well as install my shower valve that's going to be in here. Besides that though, I also need to install my exhaust fan, which is also going to mean I'm going to need to cut a hole for the exterior vent to go. So I got a few things to do in here before I'm done, but none of that's really all that major. It's just a matter of executing. And so still got Angela's office here to do. Like I mentioned to you guys before, I'm going to go ahead and insulate these walls as well as, I said these walls, this wall as well as this wall here. That way, hopefully it dampens the sound a bit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting this piece installed, and as well as getting that installed as well. Alright guys, so I got my first piece down here, and so we want to hang the top one first, which means the higher piece first. I got a few things I want to consider. I don't know if you guys can, yeah, it comes through pretty clear, but I got water line coming in right here that I'm going to need to notch out for, much like they notched out that top plate that you can see there. And then also I got this HVAC duct work that I'm going to have to work around as well. So first thing I'm going to do is get my ladder, hop up there, get a measurement off this wall to those different points, and that way I can come down, mark it out on my drywall, make my cuts, and then I'll be ready to put it up. Let me go ahead and take my measurements that I got from the mechanics and mark them out on my board. For that water line, it was 59, 62, 62. And the depth on that, we'll just do 1.5 inches. They just took out that top plate, and that's about what that is. And then the other one was a 75 by 7.5. Handy dandy T-square. Grab my multi-tool. do a good test run or test fit right quick. She's a little tight, so I might take that in just a little bit. And I mean right here, it's a little tight. That should do it. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. That's not good. There we go. Good recovery. And what I was looking for there at the end, I wanted to see how this was going to fall on my stud, which is going to be, I guess it's this one. No, it's this one. And so I want it to be about half to split it with the next piece of drywall that's going to be there. And so it's a little bit over that. I think I'm going to take it back, I don't know, maybe a half inch or so. Just cut it back a little bit. That way it leaves room for the next piece of drywall that's going to cover from here to here. So that's what I was looking for there at the end. But other than that, it's going to fit really well. It wasn't that hard to, you know, lay it out, get it cut out. And so one more thing I'm going to do, I got one more last cavity here that needs some insulation, and I want to go ahead and put that in there. I hate to undercut my entire effort by leaving this open, so I want to give me a piece to put in there. Then I'm going to grab me some screws, grab my screw gun, and we'll be ready to install this piece. in place. I got to take this end off, but we've got a core area to work with. I can do it work. Just like I got so much wood right here. So if need be, I could still take a mulch tool and run down and still shim off a bit for a couple. No big deal. Oh, this one. So I got all the ones right here to the ground on there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my other piece of drywall and throw it up here. And so I'll be back. So I do have an outlet on this wall that I need to account for. And what I've been using, I think I showed these to you guys before. What are these little things? I'm trying to think what they're called. Marking guard by Buddy Tools. But you just tuck your wiring this in your receptacle, or your junction box, excuse me, behind it, and then you press the drywall against it and it'll poke out. And then from there you take a drywall router and just cut out around it. You'll see I'm about to do it, but these have been fairly handy. One thing to remember, and it's not a fault of the product, but it was my own fault, is to make sure you got a good blade on your router, because otherwise things can get messy and you'll start to cut out some of your chunks of your drywall is not cutting clean like it should. Oh, old-fashioned wasting work. I think they're cutting these steel lines up with this uncut one almost. Yeah, I think the stud's a little wobbly. Alright, that should be good enough to hold it. I don't want to put too many screws in it because now I need to locate that outlet identifier and go ahead and get it cut out. Just want to double check where it is. And yes, it's right here. So there it is. And it pokes right through like that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but oops. But yeah, it pokes through. You see that piece. Sorry. But yeah, it pokes through right there like that. And then from there, we'll just cut it on out. Got it in there. It's not as clean as I would like it, if I'm being honest. I might have put a little bit too much pressure on my sheetrock, and so I had a little bit of blowout in one of my corners. Oops, sorry, you guys can't even see. But I say that, but it's still pretty clean. But yeah, I just had a little bit of blowout in that lower left-hand corner. But yeah, guys, it makes it pretty easy to do it that way. This is no how-to video or no tutorial, but just showing you guys as I go what my experiences is like. And if any of my methods are helpful, please feel free to steal away or ask a question, or what, any way I can be helpful to you. But, or just, laugh at me for my silly mistakes. Okie dokie. That's it. Much better. Once again, we'll just take our router, cut off what's left on this side that we don't need, and this wall, minus the lower part, will be done. Perfection. So there it is, guys. It didn't take us all that long. We got one wall down, and so that was one of our goals today, get that wall down. And then also I want to get this one look and get this wall in as well, since we're moving right along. So I'm gonna go get another piece of drywall. You guys see I don't have any major cuts here, but I will have another outlet to contend with, so we'll have to account for that and get that cut out. But let's go get that drywall and go ahead and get it installed. All right, guys, I'm out of screws, but I did get that last piece installed. As you can see here, I still need to use my router, cut that little tail I got hanging in the window. But other than that, she's in. Looking good, looking clean. And I don't know if I gave you guys a close-up of our other pieces. These are the ones we first put in. And so, just see that corner transition there. Of course, we'll put a corner bead here, but that's what we're looking like. So, yeah, guys, I'm kind of at a forced stopping point now just because I'm out of screws. I'm taking a little bit of break after I cut this fin off. And then, I don't know, I either might go get some screws or I might transition into something else just because I am expecting, or we, the family, are expecting my mom to come over. And so we're going to hang out with her for a bit. And so I don't want to get too caught up in something where I don't feel like I want to be pulled away until I'm at a stopping point when she gets here, because she's actually been out of town for a while, so we're really excited to see her and want to make sure we take advantage of her presence, so, or be grateful thereof. But anyway, I'm gonna get this cut and then take a little bit of a break, and I'll check back in. Perfect. So yeah, guys, now that I got this bit of area mostly done, moving forward, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'll probably skip the bathroom and come straight to Angela's office, more than likely. And the reason I say that is because, like I mentioned before, I got a few things that I got to do in the bathroom. Still need to set the shower pan. Like I said, put the shower valve in. Still need to do my venting and drainage here, set up for my vanity and everything. So I still got a few things I need to do. And so rather than hold up progress, I'm gonna keep pushing forward. This is the back side of the wall we just finished off. For those of you that might need a point of reference, this is that bottom wall. But yeah, guys, coming right along. It's crazy to me. And so, but yeah, guys, like I said, I'm gonna take me a little break, see if I got some screws. I might have some in my van, just, you know, for work type thing. And then I might actually keep trucking. If not, like I mentioned earlier, I'm at a point where I could start to put in receptacles. So I might actually do that, just given that the drywall is already in. And so all of these walls, bedrooms, Tony's room, my office, this living area, I would feel comfortable putting the receptacles in all of those just because my drywall is up. And so, yeah. So I can still keep myself busy. I'm just basically reminding myself that I don't get to have an excuse to stop. So get myself hydrated, maybe give me a little snack, and then get back to it. So I'll check back in, guys. Back from my little break, and actually during said break, I decided to actually be a little bit more productive than rest, and I actually went and got some more screws. So this is what we working at. Excuse me. Oops. There we go. But this is what we're working with, just some number 6" and 5/8 screws. We should be good, and so I'm gonna just continue down this wall. I believe this is the outside wall of our bathroom. Just gonna continue down, and after I get our hallway done, I'll be in Angela's office, it looks like. So yeah, just coming right along. This hallway, bathroom, and Angela's office are the last two major sheetrock things I gotta do. The rest is really just cutting those 8-inch tall strips, which I don't suspect should be too bad. And like I mentioned to you guys before, I already got a few cut and that just need to be installed. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna just get ready to throw these few pieces up here. One thing I'm going to do first though is I'm going to get a measurement of where 8 foot feet is going to be, because that's the length of each piece of drywall. And I want to see how close to 8 feet I can get. If 8 foot lands on the middle of a stud, I'll be fine. If not, like you guys saw me do over there, I will need to shorten it to where it will fall to the center of a stud for my next piece of drywall. Or if it makes it all the way to the doorway or beyond, we're good, which I don't think it's going to do. So I'm gonna get a quick measurement, and then after that, I'll go outside and get some drywall. I think we're lucky. I think we got real lucky. So 8 foot falls right here on the center of this stud of our doorway, which is beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna go get another piece of drywall. Go ahead and put it away. What I'm gonna do is measure down 4 feet, which is the width of a board, which should align right here. Well, no, it's not gonna align because this is lower. And I'm gonna put me a screw there to hold it in place when I get it up there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Now I can line up my edges, make sure it's looking good. Remove the shaft. All right, guys, so you see we got our first piece over here in on this wall. Got all our fasteners in. It's good to go. And one thing I'm noticing over here is I'm just thinking to myself playing out this wall. My framers didn't leave me what we call a nailer or something for me to fasten the sheetrock into or a backer. And what I'm talking about is for the sheetrock that's going to lay like this, there's nothing to stop it from bowing in like this. So there should be a piece of wood right here. And so I'm looking like I'm going to need to add one. And essentially what I'm going to do is cut a 2x4 to the total height of that and put it in there real quick. And it made me think of that because I'm just trying to think ahead before I have to back up. It's because when I go to put this bottom piece in, it's going to interfere. It's going to make me lose at least half an inch over there. And so slipping that piece of wood in there might become more difficult then. So I think it's going to be better to do it pretty soon. I might can go ahead and put this bottom piece in if I lay these the same rather than stagger them, which is what I intended to do at first. But I don't know. I might look around here right quick, see if I can grab a saw and go ahead and just cut me one and put it in. Shouldn't be too hard anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna get a measurement, cut me a 2x4, and then get it installed. That way I can keep trucking. I think that's going to be good enough to hold our drywall, but I think it's going to be time for me to hit pause once again, guys, and I'll check back in a bit. So it's actually about 2 days later. It's Tuesday, and I started recording on Sunday, and so Tuesday evening to be specific. But yeah, hung out with my mom and all that good jazz. Hung out with the family on Sunday. You guys probably hear TJ. He's ready to eat, but mom's still getting the food together. But never mind that. Like I was saying, back in the basement. It's now Tuesday evening, and I actually didn't. Did I do more work Sunday? I don't think I did more work Sunday, but I think it was Monday. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to come back down here and get a little bit done, and I'll show you guys that real quick. I want to say where we left off yesterday was actually on this wall. I think I had maybe this panel up at the time. And so as you can see, I've got the lower portion up as well. This doorway, the doorway for the bathroom. And then also this doorway that's going to be a utility space. I've gotten it completed and then moved on to what is going to be Angela's office. And so I got this back wall done as well as started on this side wall here. I told you guys before, I'm going to be adding insulation to these walls here, as well as the front walls here, and that's just to help dampen sound for her. And so I actually got that insulation laying here for me to install when I get to it. And I'm thinking that in both cases, I'm actually going to install the walls first and then install the insulation from the backside. And the reason for that is just I have mechanical stuff going through here, so like the wires and stuff, so it's not going to just sit in that cavity or that bay like it normally would, or like it's designed to. And so I'm gonna just get one panel up on one side, like I said, the interior of this room on that side, and then I'll go in and install the insulation from the back, or from the hallway in this case, and then from beneath the steps in this case. So I think it should make it easier and better for me. This I could probably actually do without much issue, just because I ran it behind the studs versus in the studs over here, just because that's a storage cavity. So it really didn't matter. And so I probably could go ahead and insulate that wall now that I'm seeing that and just really thinking about it, but we'll see. Let me see what's going to be next for me. naturally, I'm going to keep working and trucking along on working on this, getting the drywall installed, at which point then I'll be able to, I'm sorry, but yeah, at which point I'll be able to start applying the tape and mud to the drywall and start actually finishing it. While also simultaneously I'm going to be doing, or maybe even before I get to mud and tape, and I'll probably do another coat on the ceiling. There's a few areas, and this is a perfect room to show you guys in. In Angela's office in particular, I had some areas that had some runs. My paint mix got a little messed up and my pressure got a little off. And so I had some runs. And so I've already removed it. And I just want to go back and go over it one good time. And then also, I'm going to, as you can see, maybe if I get out the way, that insulation back there, I've sprayed it a little bit, but I want to go ahead and get it a bit darker. And that's probably going to require me to get some more paint, just because that stuff is really porous. It's really absorbent, so to speak. And so I'm really going to have to spray it to get it covered, or to get it to a pure black. I don't know. We'll see how close I can get it. But that's going to be the goal and objective. And then after that, or simultaneously, no, not after that, but also what I'm going to be doing is working on installing our outlets. We got most of them. There's some GFI-C outlets there, and then the rest of the little regular duplex outlets are right there. So, yeah, guys, trucking along. So, yeah, guys, trucking along, making progress. There are a few things that I've noticed that I'm going to have to address and do something about. Sorry. One of those is being, I didn't account for lighting in this hallway. And so I have a light here, which was installed by the builders. I just put that bulb on it. But what I'm going to do is just use that existing power source, and I'm going to install probably 2 lights in this little short hallway. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm just saying things that I'm thinking of while I'm going before it gets too late. And see, that thought came to mind in particular because it made me think of, well, where is that light switch box going to go? And so before I get to installing the drywall or the sheetrock, I want to make sure that I locate it, install it, and get my wires ran, just so I can, avoid trying to do something like that afterhand. Another thing that I'm going to want to do is I want to adjust some of the framing in this area. This is essentially where our home drainage system goes out to our septic, and I want to kind of frame this out. And this is a clean out right here, and I want to frame this out just so that there could be an access door or of some kind. And then behind that also, I could see that green light, which reminds me that's an alarm system for our septic, and I also want to be able to access that. And so I'm probably gonna cut these out and kind of just picture frame it up some way, and just let that be that. And then I'll probably still end up putting drywall over some type of cabinet door. I'm going to finish it off somehow, but essentially, and it's really in an unfortunate position. This is actually exactly where our bathroom vanity is going to be. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to make it look as nice as I can. It would be one thing if I could just, hide it behind a mirror. But that clean out plug, this is going to protrude beyond that, beyond the stud. So it's going to, push into the back of the drywall. And I don't know exactly how much. I might, take a 2x4, put it across there and kind of see, or something, anything, just to give me a reference point, but kind of see just how far it protrudes. Because I could maybe just scratch out the back of the drywall to get it to sit flush, and then just make a cutout or something like that. I don't know. Or even if I put one of those little plastic cutouts, we'll see. But best case scenario, I don't have to leave that plug poking through right above the vanity down here. And it will prevent me from like hanging a mirror flush. I don't know. We'll see. It's a silly problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. And that's a problem we got to deal with. Another thing I got to do, making my way across here. Hopefully it's not too dark and you guys can see somewhat. But I can't recall if I mentioned this to you guys before or not. But in our San Antonio room is also where our main water shutoff is. And so it protrudes past the drywall too, which is why I had to notch it out, which also allowed me to locate where it was. But I'm going to get just one of those plastic panel covers, I believe, just to put there. So that's going to be fairly easy peasy. It's just a matter of me ordering one and getting it in or picking up one and getting that taken care of. But yeah, there are a few other areas on the ceiling that I want to hit too. Can't really show you guys because it's just too dark. Won't really come through well. But there are a few areas I still got to drywall. Like this is going to need drywall here on the face. These columns or posts rather are going to need drywall. And I was just playing around and I did install this one piece. And that's a lot of what I'm going to do. Just take scrap pieces and throw them up here and then use my router and just cut them pretty. And they should be pretty much good to go. I also shared with you guys, I think it was in a few videos ago, it might have been. Another thing on my to-do list is to cut this out to make it a doorway. Let me step back so you guys can see. But, cut those studs out so it could be an entryway down here so that this area can be storage. And then with that in mind, I also need to install a light in here. And so got plenty of power sources, so that's no big deal. This one in particular is one that I ran for the outlets that are going to be on this wall. So I might just tap into there and draw power and put a switch, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just do a pull string light, given that it's just that storage. So we'll see. We shall see. I also got one other area I need to cut out, which is right here. It doesn't come through really well on camera. Let me see. There we go. But where this duct, this HVAC is actually access to our crawl space. And so as you notice, or maybe you can't, there's no drywall screws right here. And that's because there's no wood right there. And so I need to cut that out. That way we can maintain access to it if we ever need to get in there for whatever reason. I don't foresee a reason, but yeah. And so now that I got the flash on, you can see a few areas. I want to go ahead and paint this a little bit better. You can see that HVAC was in my way, and I just didn't get around it good to be able to cover this joist well, is essentially what I'm trying to say. And just a few other areas right there behind where one of our lights are going to be, right here, other side of that HVAC stuff. And a lot of that's because I just didn't have really good lighting, because I got to position my light in a way where it's helpful, but at the same time, let me see. Oops, I should have turned that light off. But I got to position my light in a way that is helpful, but at the same time, I don't want to get a bunch of paint on it, particularly my work lights, just because they put off a lot of heat and you can start to smell it burning, and it's just not pleasant. But those are the things that I need to do as far as just little task-like things I need to complete before I can really truly say I'm done with the drywall and the framing, just because all of those are going to require me to make some type of alteration to what is currently the layout of it. So,
hi, Dada.
Well, hello there. Look who is among us.
Oh my God. We haven't even got down here good before you go grabbing for Dada.
Hey,
your
Mr.
face is
T.
a mess.
Mwah. You say hello?
Say hi. Say hi, vlog. Say hi. Gotta let him see himself.
Oh, I don't know that I could do that right now.
Oh.
Well, yeah, he's not much for words right now. But I spoke too soon. But yeah, guys, that's about it for right now. I'll check back in just a second. For the brief intermission, Angela and TJ coming down there to check on me. It's almost TJ's bedtime, so he's wrapping down for the evening. And but what I was gonna say is I'm actually gonna push pause down here for a moment because Angela just told me that once she put TJ down, she was gonna come down here and help me. So I'm excited to see that happen, which means that just to make best use of both of our time, I'm gonna go ahead and head outside to go check on and feed the animals, and then we'll see if Angela comes down here and what we can get done. Maybe I'll record a little bit of it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's getting into the weekend. I actually need to get this video up, so we shall see how it goes. But in the meantime, let's head outside. Outside. I actually can't forget. I keep forgetting to mention to you guys about some of the things I most recently got out of our garden. So this is actually our second watermelon of the year. And so just here's my orange just for reference. It's not huge at all by any stretch of the imagination. Well, just so you guys can see. And then got some more peppers yesterday as well. I actually got like a bucket full more of tomatoes, but I don't have those nearby to show you guys. But yeah, garden is still producing. I know for a fact I actually have at least what I want to say, some sweet potatoes that I'm thinking I'll be able to harvest in the next week or so. In addition to that, I'm expecting some peanuts too. I didn't see a whole lot of my peanut plant sprout. So we'll see. We'll see how they actually end up doing. But yeah, potatoes, peanuts, and tomatoes are still producing as well. Just to be honest with you, I looked over there the other day and started to see red. So I'm just really surprised, especially now that we're having really cooler mornings and evenings. But I guess we haven't gotten to the level of frost, so I guess they'll just keep on doing. So yeah, I'm really surprised that then our bigger pepper plant in particular, I'll show you guys in just a second. It's really been doing well too. That's where I got those peppers from. Our smaller pepper plants, they actually didn't continue to produce after our first harvest. But that bigger pepper plant that looks like almost like a stalk has been doing well. But forgot my gloves. The dogs are barking at the female goat, it appears. Oh no, they're barking at something else. Let's see. I don't know what she's barking at. She sees her. Well, Sophie's barking at me, but I don't know what Duchess was barking at. Probably a rabbit. For some reason, rabbits really stir her up. And I've been seeing a lot of them this year. I don't know if it's unique to my area, but I've seen more rabbits this year just here on in the front yard, backyard, and elsewhere than I've ever seen before. Y'all see me trip, or did I play it off well? But let me see. See, y'all wasn't just playing. I'm walking over here now, and I've been neglecting it too. But yeah, there's tomato still blooming. But as far as this is the pepper plant I was talking about in particular that continues to just produce its peppers on it now. At least a good, I might be as many as 10 on it that I'm seeing. I know it's kind of hard to make difference or make for you to see with all this green. But yeah, I got about 10 peppers on it right now. And then there's even more tomatoes over here too. And so yeah, I need to get out here, clean up and pick. But let me see here. Watch my step. Mention those sweet potatoes. Come on, camera. Oops. Mention those sweet potatoes there right here. 3 of those. We'll see how they do. Those are actually transplants from my uncle's garden. I think I mentioned that to you guys before in some previous videos. And so he actually sent me pictures of his from his garden. And so his look to be doing or have done really well. So I'm curious to see what I have here. But here is Jay and Beyonce. Still no cat from her just yet. But as you can see, and you see what I see. Y'all think I'm tripping? Am I tripping? Oops, sorry. Oh no. I'll probably get close enough to her to try to see real quick, but we'll see. Look at Jay. I told y'all, Jay don't play. He always got his eyes on me. And literally his eyes, you can see him. He's, he do not be playing. But I'm about to get in here and pick up this hay. And I'm also gonna see if I can squeeze on Beyonce's teeth. See if I can get anything to come down. I am not getting anything. Yeah, now that I'm looking a little closer. Not extremely firm. It does feel like something's in there. But not really firm yet. So I might be a bit premature still. And then like I mentioned to you guys before. Oh, Jay. Sorry, Jay got curious and started messing with the camera. Oh, y'all couldn't see him. That was the funny part. But yeah, nothing from Beyonce yet, though. Jay. Jay ain't gonna let me be great. That's gonna do as far as the hay goes. Well, hey, you. I was actually talking to Beyonce. There we go. Hey, you. She's coming to say hi, I guess. Why you come pushing on me? How you feeling today? You don't say hi? She's not much for words. But now that I got their hay up and get them some feed along with everybody else, that way I can get inside for me and Angela's, what I want to call it, our remodel date. But yeah, let me get their stuff together, guys. No fighting. crazy. What's going on, pups? What's going on, pups? And then we got our lady goat here. I just got her up here really. She had gotten her rope undone, but I got her up here now, just clean up against the dog's fence. You're not here? Is it about half? Is that a yes? That seems like a yes from you. All right, on to the next. On to the next. It's really getting dark and quickly. Oh my goodness! I saw somewhere it said, what was it? One of the news outlets, I think. But it said Kansas City won't see another 7 p.m. sunset until March 2025 sometime, and that was sad news to me. You guys, if you've been sticking around the channel for any amount of time, you heard my rant about how much I dislike not watching where the heck I'm going, but how much I dislike what I want to say, them shorter days. Hey, you. He's doing good work out here. Let me see if I turn you guys around. It doesn't come through good on camera, but he's really got this cleared down. It looks really, really good. And so I want him just to go kind of back in that direction, some just a little bit more on that back half. But he's doing good. That's all you got to stick in there. He's got a stick in his line. So let's get that out for him. But yeah, now that they're all taken care of, I'm actually not planning to have the goats apart much longer. The fall is actually typically known as their mating season, and so I want to make sure that I have them together. That way, I'm not missing any opportunities, especially with the unfortunate loss of the last kid that she had. So yeah, and I think what I'm gonna do is essentially put them in that area I've been wanting to put the cows in, but it just never recovered properly. Get your little hiney back. Messing with the dog gate or fence. And Duchess tried to escape again because I swear I'm not crazy. But here we are. But yeah, so I want to make sure I get them together. And like I said, I'm going to just put them in that area where I really wanted to have the cows have a triad one more time this year, but it's just not growing back well enough. And so I ultimately might give the cows access to it just to stretch their legs, not really for the eating, because it just won't be enough, but just so they have a larger space, and then they can also fertilize the area for me. Just didn't want them to overeat it when I thought there was opportunity for it to recover. I'm short a bucket. And so that's why I've been blocking them off from it. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let the goats in that area. One thing I got to do before I do that, though, is at least at bare minimum, I've got to run some additional hot wires along that backside right over there that me and my dad ran fence for not that long ago before we let the cows in there. It's just really made it good enough for cows. And so I'm gonna at least at bare minimum have to do that. I might even incorporate some barbed wire in there as well. But for sure, gonna have some electrical wire. At least probably about 2 more lines, I would say. That should do it. And then at that point, I'll let the goats back in there and they can have that. And anyway, guys, I'm about to I don't know, I'm about to check the temperature with Angela and see if we're still on. And then either way, I'm about to go down there. I think I want to for sure do some vacuuming down there. Just get some of this sheetrock off cut up, get some of the dust and all that other stuff up, just so it's not so dirty, because ultimately tracking that into the upstairs and ultimately want to clean anyway. So kind of a clean as I go type of thing. So yeah, we'll see. If I really get rambunctious, I might even hang a sheet more of drywall, but I probably won't. What I'll probably end up doing is taking some of the scraps that I already have down there and just going around that bottom piece that lasts what I like 1.75 inches or so, I think it is the final piece that needs to go under. And so I think between what I got in the garage here as far as scraps and what I already have down there should be enough to occupy my night if that's what I chose to do. So yeah, we'll see. As you saw earlier, I finished up feeding the animals, ended up having some dinner myself, and now here I am back in the basement. I actually going to give Angela a pass today because what I decided to do tonight is actually to go ahead and move forward with the installation. And so starting just on this wall, and I'm going to just make my way down. One thing I forgot when I was speaking earlier, I talked about insulating this wall. I forgot that there's drywall and also the steps right here. So I won't have full access. So it does make sense for me to just go ahead and do it now. And like I said, I'm gonna give Angela a pass because this fiberglass is pretty itchy. And yeah, she's not a fan and I don't blame her. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Get this knocked out. They're probably actually not gonna take me, but a moment is my thought and my hope. And so that's probably gonna round out what I do down here today. And I just say that just because it's nighttime, it's probably approaching, I don't know, probably approaching 9 by now, actually. I don't know. Getting there. And so I don't want to take the tarp off of the drywall just to get a sheet or two out and bring it down here. I would rather do it at a time where I'm going to have a little bit more time because ideally that's what I would have her help me with is hanging particularly that top piece of drywall like you guys saw me do earlier in the video or things around there. But yeah, don't worry, she's coming. Whether it's gonna be painting or something, we're gonna get her down here. She getting them hands dirty. But I will say she's been down here a few times to help me out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this insulation in and get it knocked out. I'm not gonna staple all the way down, but I am gonna throw a staple in it just to keep them in place. Well, I guess 2 staples. All right, so that's all of our full pieces. Now I'm gonna take my template and cut well, I'm gonna count how many I need. Then I'm gonna take my template and cut the appropriate amount of the top portions. 2, 4. Especially when we got a whole knife cut from. I get it every once in a while. So I start off with but that's that. That's that paper. If I water blade, no issues. But, yep. 7, 8. I'm gonna cut at least one more. That's it. I don't always have one hand. I got one in the bathroom. Just doing insulate, I think. I mentioned to you guys on insulate the wall in the shower. Just to make sure. If there's any benefit to be had, I think the benefit is just one shower something. So don't know, I just got a and these cavities are a little bit smaller. I'm sorry. We'll just jam it in there. All right, guys, so we got them all in. This one on the right, in the corner, I'm gonna actually get from inside this cavity, just kind of how this corner is. You can see it's got this nailer here, so it makes it kind of difficult for me to feed it from this way. So I'm gonna actually feed a piece of insulation from the rear and staple it there in place. And like I already mentioned to you guys, I am going to splice 1 and 2, or cut 1 and 2 here, and just rip it and install it there. But that's actually going to take place on a different date. I'm actually going to pick up my mess for now and go get in the shower, and pretty much call it a day. Start preparing for tomorrow. Working on a project now, so I got a few things I want to make sure that I get on my materials list so that I can show up prepared tomorrow morning. And so that's what I'm going to transition my focus to. But appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. This video is a result of you guys commenting and asking me about the basement. And so, yeah, just leave me a comment, man. I love to hear from you guys. And until next time, peace.